Good morning. It is September 7th, 2020, and I'm heading to the gym because I am out of shape. And I need a haircut because I got hair coming out of the side of my ears. Anyway, I might be coming a long hair. Stay tuned. Anyway, so just got back from a weekend down on the lake Havasu, over the Labor Day weekend. And it was fucking crazy. It was, how do I explain it? It was decadence. You know, like everybody out there showing off their balls, figuratively speaking, and their tits, literally speaking. But not really. I mean, we didn't even see it, their tits. But showing off their stuff, showing off the male bravado and testosterone was just flowing. The excess was just flowing, letting it all hang out, literally, and, me and V are on this path of letting go of things and trying to not buy into consumerism, materialism, and stuff like that, right? So, and going out there for the lake, and obviously it's like Trump Central, there's Trump flags everywhere because they had a big Trump regatta or whatever with it, had a big thing for boats. And generally speaking, the people that are into toys, whether it be the off-roading crowd, the boating crowd, the racing crowd, whatever kind of crowd where you have excessive money to buy excessive toys, are generally going to be Republican-ish and obviously now Trumpish. And holy shit, dude. You talk about Trump loving in excess. Boats with flags on them all over the place. American flags everywhere, which unfortunately now kind of feels just like it's a Trump flag. And then Trump flags on top of their American flags. And I don't know, man. You come back feeling so different. Being on our friend's boat, who has a pretty nice boat, feels amazing. Dude, you're skipping across the water. I don't know how fast it was, 60, 70 miles an hour. It feels like 100 miles an hour. And it's smooth, relatively speaking. And you're like, wow, this is a really amazing feeling, being able to go this fast and hear the roar of the 500 cubic inch Mercury back there. And he's got this beautiful paint job on it and all that stuff. And it's a really nice boat. And you can only get the feeling of going that fast in a nice boat like that. And so the feeling is what I loved. The feeling of power and like you're overcoming this lake with this boat. But the only way you can do that is if you have a boat that nice, and we're on somebody's boat that's nice. And that goes kind of against finding happiness in things that we're kind of like trying. But what we did is, like, I'm skipping across and I'm in the front seats of this boat. And dude, my eyes are closed and I'm trying to be present, trying to live in the moment, trying to feel every vibration on my skin, from the roar of the motor to the wind going through the hairs on my arms, my legs, and the pounding of the water, and being present, living in the moment, living in the now, and trying to live as much as we can in our newer style of learning and being present and being mindful. At the same time, being surrounded by the kind of things we're trying to get away from. It's hard to make sense of that because it's a dichotomy. You're finding pleasure in some of the things you detest or that you're trying to get away from. So, yeah, it was kind of a mind fuck of a weekend. And so there's this little port in Lake Havasu where you go through this portion and everybody's boats are just literally, and there's just loud music playing, usually some sort of shitty music. And everybody's there dancing. They think they're hot shit, and all the dudes are, buffed up, and, everybody's all, sizing each other up and having fun and fucking drunk and all that stuff. And it was a shit show in a lot of ways. It was so American. It was excessive in every direction. And I don't know, there's just something about it that just, it hits you so wrong when you're trying to be so right. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but it kind of felt so out of place. But at the same time, it was really nice to be able to get out on this lake, because out on the lake, you get this feeling of being one with nature, which is what we're trying to also get a hold of more, is trying to be, enjoy nature more. And you're on the lake and surrounded by mountains, which were just gorgeous, all these lava rocky kind of mountains with greenery on them and stuff like that. And it's such polar opposites of feelings. Anyway, so coming out of there with lessons, just lessons of why we're kind of trying to do what we're trying to do. And we're gonna have a big old yard sale in a couple weeks, and we're gonna get rid of all of our parts that we've been accumulating for a while, a lot of our tools and equipment and stuff that we've been buying to try to resell, and just been buying, and stuff around the house that we've just accumulated over the last few years because we find really good deals on stuff, so we buy it and it's cute and whatever. And trying to lose the weight of the stuff, because the stuff to us is kind of like an anchor, and it's a tether. Like if you want to stay light, say we want to close the shop and move somewhere in a year or two or whatever, or say the shop closes because Mark and Bill that own the shop, they don't want to do this anymore and they want to sell the building, and we've got to make a tough decision. Anyway, I feel like when you're burdened with so much stuff, you become very lethargic and very heavy, and it's much harder to change directions when you've got all this stuff. And so anyway, we're going through this thing of lightening our load, paying off every bit of, which wasn't a lot, every bit of debt we have. Paid off my truck, and she's paid off her car, and got a couple small things we got to pay off, and just sell everything, pay off whatever little debt we have, be completely debt free, be completely light, and continue to develop our spiritual well-being, surround ourselves with like-minded people, live for experiences. I mean, dude, in the last 2 months, we've gone to California for the beach, and that's obviously, the beach is just amazing. It's beautiful, it's tranquil, it's our reset button. We just went out to the lake and surrounded by beautiful nature out at the lake in every direction, and just felt so good being like in the middle of the earth. I went up to Oregon and went all up and down the Oregon coast and saw all these beautiful scenery on the way there and back, and just immersed myself in this greenery and this beautiful, again, against the ocean and the trees and the forest and all that stuff. And then we went to Bonneville, completely desolate isolation, absolutely incredibly beautiful in its own way. So in less than 2 months, probably 6 weeks, we have gone from one extreme to another in every type of environment that you could think of, and all of them absolutely gorgeous in their own direction. And that is what we live for right now. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey the last couple weeks, and like I said, we're gonna have a big yard sale in a couple weeks and really try to off a lot of our stuff. Anyway, so that's my little bit of spiritual growth for the weekend, is just trying to get away from consumerism and materialism as much as possible, obviously. And trying to surround ourselves with like-minded people. And anyway, I hope you find peace and tranquility and beauty in your journey. I hope you find yourself along the way. I hope you enjoy the ride, because, man, life is short. I love you.